Hi everyone, it's your girl Jot and welcome to a brand new video. So today we will be going over my first impressions for the summer 2024 anime season. Meow, meow.
Meow.
I ended up watching the first episode of 16 different animes spanning from romance, comedy, action, fantasy. I went through a lot of different anime. At the beginning of this season, I actually watched a bunch of trailers, like all the trailers, and I created a tier list, which also worked as my watch list. And I rated them on ones that I was definitely gonna watch and ones that I was gonna skip. But in this list, you'll find out that there were some that I was planning to skip, but then I ended up picking up because sometimes there are days where you just want to watch a new anime. And especially with the new season, it's always exciting to see what comes out. My overall impression for this season is if you like romance, slice of life, comedy kind of anime, this is perfect. There are a lot of different choices. We still have our action, fantasy, we still have our isekais, but there just isn't as much, and I'm not mad about it, especially with isekais. Last season had so many isekais. If you're still into that trope, check out last season's. This season, I think it's for the romance and for the comedy and for the slice of life kind of people. And for the format of this video, there will be timestamps below if there's specific first impressions you want. There'll be a summary for each anime, my impression, and a little bit of a rating. The rating is my first impression rating. At the end of the season, I'll be doing a wrap up. I wanted to see what the difference is from my initial first impression rating to my actual rating and see where we kind of go, because first impressions can either be good or bad, and you never know what you end up liking truly at the very end of the season. Let's get into the video. Alya Sometimes Hides Her Feelings in Russian is a comedy romance slated to have 12 episodes. Elisa Mikhailovna Kujo, a half-Russian, half-Japanese beauty, is the idol of her school and is often seen as unapproachable. Her benchmate, Masachika Kuz, an average boy who loves anime and gacha games, is the only one who gets her attention. Though Lisa is often harsh and expresses affection in Russian, Masachika secretly understands and pretends not to. As their playful exchanges continue, their relationship grows more romantic, and Elisa may finally learn to express her true feelings. Alya Hides Her Feelings in Russian. First impression is the eyes are gorgeous. It's very beautifully designed. The characters are really pretty, and Alya is just so cute and adorable. And it's really funny how she thinks that our male lead, Masachiko, does not know Russian, because who else would just understand Russian casually? But he does, and it's fun to see these interactions. And even when there is a rivalry and she starts getting jealous, like, you can see how much she crushes on this boy. And it's so fun to see his reaction of, I know what she's saying, but she doesn't think I know what she's saying, and I'm going to pretend I don't know what she's saying kind of thing. Like, how does this guy keep a straight face? Because there's no way. I would feel secondhand embarrassment, and I feel embarrassed for her because knowing the fact that he knows, but it's still so cute. And my only thing about this anime and why I'm docking points for it and not sure if I'll end up liking it is the fan service. We had the sock scene in the first episode, and it was there, and I'm just worried that as we keep going, I'm going to feel uncomfortable from it, because I just don't want so much fan service in an anime. So for that reason, I am going to rate it a 7.2. Dahlia and Bloom Crafting a Fresh Start with Magical Tools is a fantasy slice of life with 12 episodes. After dying from overwork in Japan, Dahlia is reborn in a magical world. Raised by the master of magical toolmaking, she falls in love with her father's apprentice and plans to marry him. However, her father's sudden death and her fiancé's revelation of his love for another prompt Dahlia to reassess her life. Determined to live on her own terms, Dahlia focuses on her craft and starts her own company, encountering challenges along the way. No longer the timid girl, Dahlia embraces her new life with courage and determination. Dahlia and Bloom, it is a slice of life. First impression wise, it's cute how there is a father-daughter relationship that was adorable, where they get to invent stuff together. But overall, like, I wasn't very intrigued. I wasn't looking for a next episode, and this is kind of one of the ones I wouldn't mind just like not really watching or just casually watching. It just didn't give me that much to work with. Like, I know it's more of a slice of life fantasy, but I just didn't find like a magic in it. And so for this one, I think I'm gonna give it a 6.5. Days with My Stepsister is a romance with 12 episodes. Yuta Asamura gains a new stepsister, Saki Ayase, the school's top beauty, after his father remarries. They agree to maintain a comfortable distance shaped by lessons from their parents' past relationships.
Saki, used to handling things alone for her family's sake, struggles to rely on others, while Yuta is unsure how to treat her. As they live together, their bond grows from strangers to friends, hinting at a potential love story.
Days with my stepsister. Whenever you see stepsister in the title, it always it's like, we'll see how this goes. Like, I don't want it to be that anime, and it's not that anime. Like, I was very surprised, and it was unexpected how I liked this first episode. And it explores the idea more about strangers who can now depend on each other. Specifically in this anime, we have two kids who are in high school, the same age, who are now step siblings, who have lived a very independent life, but now can kind of rely on each other. And they're both kind of doing their thing, but also trying to figure out what their relationship is like as new step siblings. And in their beginning, they're merging as a family, and it doesn't seem like there's any animosity towards like their parents for this decision, and they're just living the decision that their parents have made. And I do want to see where this goes. I hope they develop the characters and their relationship platonically before any romance. It does say romance in the title, and we'll see if it actually does become romance. I'm pretty sure it does. But I do want to see the development of this more idea of strangers becoming like more than strangers kind of thing before the romance part. But we'll see how it goes. So right now I'm giving it a 7.5.
Makin' Too Many Losing Heroines is a comedy romance with 12 episodes. Kazuhiko Nukumizo, a self-proclaimed background character, accidentally witnesses his popular classmate Anna Yanami being rejected by her childhood friend. From that moment, Kazuhiko finds himself entangled with several quote-unquote loser heroines, including Anna.
Makin' Too Many Losing Heroines. It was on my skip list, but I just decided to pick it up last night, and it is gorgeous. The animation and the music is really good. Like, I am very surprised. Then I looked up who it was by, which studio did it, and it was A1 Pictures, so that makes sense. A1 Pictures did A Silent Voice and did so many other really good ones I can't think of on the top of my head, but just know that this is a very good studio. Going back to the animation and music, they are gorgeous. The characters, the main character is just so adorable just because he is a lover of romance light novels, and he has always been a wallflower, but this might be his love story. There's gonna be different girls, I believe, from what I remember from the trailer, and that's where I'm not sure where it's gonna go. The girl that we currently see in the first episode, she's a little bit quirky, a little bit weird, but she's like kind of lovable. I don't know how I feel about her. I'm still like, is she at the point of quirky and annoying or quirky and cute? And right now she's on the quirky and cute look for the first episode. And I'll be honest, it is being carried by the animation and the music for me for that first episode. So my rating might be skewed because of how shocking, and now I'm maybe overhyping it. But like I said, like my expectations were I was gonna skip this anime, but now I'm gonna watch it because I'm intrigued by everything else, and I like the characters enough and the story enough where we're gonna see all these like love stories or how these different heroines will experience love in high school. I think this is gonna be a good one. So I rated the first episode at 7.8.
No Longer Allowed in Another World is an adventure comedy fantasy with 12 episodes. An adventure in another world with cute girls and video game-like powers sounds like an anime fan's dream, right? Not for the melancholic author Osamu Dazai, who would rather drop dead. In 1948, long before video games were invented, he gets pulled into another world. Instead of embracing the fantastical adventures, he's just searching for the perfect place to die. Yet no matter how much he risks his life, things keep turning out okay. Follow this uniquely miserable hero in a cheerfully bleak isekai comedy.
No Longer Allowed in Another World is a cool take on like a parody of an isekai, and our main character, I think he is such a vibe. Like him being from like 1940 something, I don't even know, like in the 19th century where fantasy isekais like don't exist, or like games don't exist, so he doesn't have it like where isekais from modern world where they go back into these fantasy worlds they kind of already know. He's like, where am I? Who are all these people? And I was just trying to kill myself. But Truck-kun has been working since the 19th century and is out here like doing his job, and he was just trying to have a double suicide murder and he got interrupted, and he is still trying to like kill himself. He is just a vibe. But right now I'm not a fan of all the girl characters, and I feel like I'm just gonna be annoyed. Like that goddess lady already like kind of bothers me, and I don't know if this is the right comedy specifically for me, so I'm going to rate this lower It's gonna be a 6.5 for me.
My Dear Friend Nokotan is a comedy anime. No one knows Torako was once a delinquent. To her classmates, she's the perfect student. But that changes when Nokotan, a transfer student with antlers, enters her life. Nokotan's deer nose can sniff out Toraka's secret past. Whether at school or the zoo, chaos follows this doe-eyed girl everywhere. Torako is left wondering, is Nokotan a deer, a girl, or something in between?
My Dear Friend Nokotan, I'll be honest, meme comedy isn't really for me. It's not things that I really like or look for, but the first episode was better than I thought. I still am not sure if it's the right comedy for me. The opening song is hilarious. The fact that they break the fourth wall and go meta and kind of take you into this journey of this is normal, that this dear girl is at school, is pretty hilarious. I am going to be rating it lower just because I know I'm not really into this comedy, so I'm just hoping that later on my first impression and my later on impression might change, but we'll see. So right now I'm giving it a 7.
Psuedo Harem is a slice-of-life anime with 12 episodes. Iji Kitahama is a second-year high school student who dreams of being popular. To help, Rin Nakamura, his junior in the drama club, uses her acting skills to create a harem of loving quote-unquote girls for him. While these personas all show affection for Iji, Rin's feelings are genuine. Her colorful performances delight Iji, but will the actress herself ever win his heart?
Psuedo Harem, the name of it turned me off, but I fell in love with it and I really like it. First impression is the voice acting. The voice actors for Rina and Iji are the same voice actors from Snow White with the red hair of Shiryuki and Obi. They're not the main couple in Snow White with the red hair, but they are a secondary couple that people ship. I still do ship Zen and Shiryuki, but Obi just has my heart in that anime. But I digress. We're talking about Psuedo Harem. So Psuedo Harem, I think this is like very cute. Like you have moments of their like kind of flirtation, and you have Rin who is basically pretending to be a harem for Iji, and she has all these like different voices and acts in different ways. But at the end of the day, Rin, when she's herself, is best girl. This is actually not under romance as like a main category, at least on my anime list, but it definitely has romance in it. And it also kind of reminds me of Kaguya-sama, but Love is War is more a psychological warfare of trying to make the other person confess, and this is not like that. But I think it has a similar like flirtation, like chemistry that the characters have. They're just good friends, but I can't wait to kind of see more from it. And it's an easy watch, it's something fun to watch, and I am going to rate this high because I think this might be my favorite one. It'll be an 8.5 for me.
Senpai is an Otokonoko is a romance with 12 episodes. Makoto Hanaoka, a second-year student with a feminine appearance, catches the eye of a first-year Saki Ayo, who falls for him at first sight. To her surprise, Makoto is actually a cross-dressing boy. Despite Makoto's rejection, Saki remains determined to become his first love, supported by their childhood friend. Together, they navigate Makoto's struggle between personal interests and societal expectations.
Senpai is an Otokonoko. The first few minutes, I was not sure if I was going to continue, I'll be honest. I was a little bit concerned. I've also watched cross-dressing anime, but this is kind of new to me because usually it's like a girl dressing up as a guy for like convenience of trying to do something or accomplish something. And if there is a guy cross-dresser, it's usually a minor character. Once Ayo confesses to Makoto senpai and reveals that she is actually a he who likes to cross-dress, Ayo just kind of completely is in love with the idea because now she gets to enjoy both versions of Makoto, male and female, and she's convinced she's gonna make them fall in love with her. It's just so funny. I have so much respect for Makoto to having kind of come out as a cross-dresser at school and have lived like that, but Ayo just completely like doesn't care what anybody thinks and is just excited to be within his presence. I just think it's so cute and it's gonna be fun. And Makoto senpai's childhood friend kind of reminds me of So from Windbreaker. I think this is gonna be better than I've expected, at least from the trailer to the first episode, so I'm giving this a 7.5.
Shoshimin How to Become Ordinary is a mystery anime with 12 episodes. Kobito, once burned by wisdom work deduction activities, is determined to live as an honest and humble citizen. He secretly forms a pact with his classmate Ossan, who shares the same goal to make their high school debut as ordinary students and lead peaceful lives. However, mysterious incidents and misfortunes keep disrupting their plans. Can Kobito and Ossan achieve the peaceful and ordinary lives they desire?
Shoshimin How to Be Ordinary, I'll be honest, the first episode confused me, especially like the ending of the first episode. It reminds me a lot of Hyoka because it is the same like high school like mystery kind of anime. I like how we have a mystery that they kind of have to figure out and kind of walk through. It's a lot more simpler. They're not like heavy like murder mysteries or anything, but like little everyday mysteries or things that they were trying to figure out, and they kind of walk you through it, which was nice. And the main characters, I just really like. I don't know what it is about. I think it's because our male lead is just like such a nice guy. He is a little bit of a pushover, but he's just like has a likable face. And he kind of looks like Ichikawa from Kaiju number 8. Like that's the first thing I thought of. And the girl is just adorable. She's a little quirky and like, I don't want to say strange, but she's like interesting, but in a like lovable way. Like when she's uncomfortable, she uses him to hide, and the fact that she just always wants a fruitcake, I can relate because girl, I would also want one, especially the ones in this anime because it looks nice, and I really like how their eyes are drawn. Like I said, it's a little bit confusing and I was confused, but I'm excited for this one, and so I'm gonna give this one a 7.5.
The Elusive Samurai is an adventure comedy set with 12 episodes. 8-year-old Takayuki Hojo, heir of the Kumakari shogunate, excels only at hide and seek. His life changes drastically when Takuji Ashikaga seizes power, ending the Kumakari's reign. Saved by a prophetic priest, Takayuki must now evade pursuers and gather allies to restore the Kumakari shogunate. Set during the Nobunagaru Chao period, Negajaoju Jo Wakagime is a tale of redemption, chronicling the forgotten hero who changed Japan's destiny through escape.
The Elusive Samurai, I really, really like, and I am going to say it on the record that this will be my favorite anime. That is my impression. That is what I am going to predict because I just love everything about it. At first, I thought Tokiyuki, our male lead, was a girl, to be honest. And the character design kind of reminds me of Mao Mao from the Apothecary Diaries. Maybe it's the hair too. I looked at it side by side and they don't look alike, but that was like the first initial thing I thought of. And he is just such a goofy, lovable character. But the first episode made me have so many emotions. I went from being happy to laughing when the priest came to being shocked and bewildered that shit hit the fan and everyone just died. This really reminded me of Yona of the Dawn because it is exactly how Yona of the Dawn starts out. We're also introduced to the priest and his assistant. The priest's voice is actually Gojo's voice also. I always look for that voice actor's voice in every season because he's always in animes I end up really loving. The animation is great from the beginning to the end. You had him hide and seek, and that was awesome to see how he was dodging his servants, and then at the very end where he was just dodging all those people who was trying to kill him. The animation and the designs and the vibe kind of remind me of Inuyasha. Hell's Paradise because of the samurais, but Inuyasha because of like the look or like that 90s look, but in a more modern twist and definitely more colorful. Like, you know that there's a lot of scenes that you can screenshot and it'll be like a beautiful picture perfect. So I am very excited for this anime, and because I think it's gonna be my favorite, I am giving it a 9.0.
The Magical Girl and the Evil Lieutenant Used to Be Archenemies is a comedy fantasy romance with 12 episodes. The story follows Mira, the leader of an evil organization bent on conquering and destroying everything. Earth is under attack, but the magical girl Byuka Mimori rises to challenge Mira's forces. In an unexpected twist, Mira finds himself falling in love with Mimori.
The Magical Girl and the Evil Lieutenant Used to Be Arch Enemies. This one's actually a short episode one. There's only 12 minutes in an episode, and I like it because I am a big fan of the lovers to enemies trope, or enemies to lovers trope. And this is totally it. And plus I like magical girls. Love Sailor Moon. My icon down there on the subscribe is Sailor Moon. By the way, really quick interruption. If you haven't already subscribed to my channel, I do anime content, manhwa content. Anyways, back to our scheduled regular program. This one is fun. I thought it was just so funny seeing the evil lieutenant, his interaction of like realizing he had like first love. And I just want to protect our magical girl. She is just here trying to survive. And it's cute how now we have this evil lieutenant trying to like say that he's going to do his job, but really he just wants to feed her and protect her because she needs someone to help her out. And I think this is just going to be a fun one. It's lighthearted, it's funny, and it's a pretty short anime, which I kind of like. This one, I'm going to give it a 7.
The Ossan Newbie adventure, Trained to Death by the Most Powerful Party Became Invincible, is an action-adventure fantasy with 12 episodes. It's common knowledge that becoming an adventure young is crucial, as magical power, the foundation of adventure strength, hardly grows without early training. However, Rick Gladiator defies this norm. Starting his adventure career in his 30s, Rick possesses the combat power of an S-rank adventurer, the highest rank in the world. His extraordinary skills comes from an unimaginable life with the legendary Hulkin Fist, the continent's strongest adventure party. Trained by monster mentors, Rick's prowess enables him to defeat elite adventurers who dare underestimate him.
Okay, before I butcher this, the Ossan's Newbie adventure, Trained to Death by the Most Powerful Party Became Invincible. I feel like whatever about this anime. Like, it's not giving me anything unique to it, or like I just don't feel a pull to it. And the main character is kind of boring and he doesn't know how strong he is. I do want to know how he ended up like training with the most powerful party in this world and now he's like ridiculously strong. But it's just a whatever one for me. It just doesn't captivate me so far, and we'll see how this one goes. So I'm giving it a 6.
Tower of God Season 2 is an action-adventure drama fantasy mystery anime. Ja Wagner struggles to pass the 20th floor, failing repeatedly but refusing to give up. Along the way, he encounters a mysterious and powerful figure named Viol. Wagner invites Viol to join his team of regulars, and together they face new challenges at every turn.
Tower of God Season 2, first episode. I am glad I've read the manhwa because the first episode wasn't giving. I feel bad for anyone who's starting this because you just don't know what's going on. Like, you're like, who are these characters? If you had a bad first impression for the first episode, don't worry, you just have to get into it because it'll just get better. In the first season, I wasn't really a fan of the animation or the style, but now watching the second season, I kind of miss it because now it looks better. It looks very typical and doesn't make it stand out anymore. Overall, for the first impression of the anime, I'm just gonna give it a 7.5.
Twilight Out of Focus is a boys' love anime with 12 episodes. Roommates Mao Tsuchiya and Hisashi Atomo make 3 promises in front of a camera. Mao must keep Hisashi's relationship with another man a secret, Hisashi must refrain from falling for Mao, and they must respect each other's privacy. As they enter the second year living together, their agreements are tested when Mao's film club wants Hisashi to star in a boys' love movie. Mao, conflicted by their first promise, tries to dissuade Hisashi, but Hisashi agrees to the role, sparking Mao's growing awareness of his feelings. He realizes emotions for Hisashi may not be purely platonic.
Twilight Out of Focus. I'll be honest, first impression, not very good. I feel like it's trying to be artsy, like too artsy, and I didn't really jive with any of the characters so far. Kind of boring, I'll be honest. The first episode I kind of found boring. So for that, I'm going to give it a 6.0 and hope that it gets better and will be something I really enjoy, but we'll see.
Why Does Nobody Remember Me in This World is an action fantasy sci-fi with 12 episodes. In a world where humanity once triumphed under Hero Sid's leadership, Kai witnesses a sudden override where humanity is defeated. Dragons and demons now reign, and Kai himself is forgotten. Encountering Rin, Kai vows to defy his fate. Armed with Sid's sword and skills, he challenges the dominant enemy race in a hero-less world.
Right before filming this, I picked up Why Does Nobody Remember Me, and it looks nice, but I don't know about this story. Like, it can go two ways. Either it's going to be really good and interesting and we're going to get some twists and turns, or it's just going to be very bland. I am having the same deja vu feeling, or like the same feelings that I had with God's Gaming Play from last season. Like, I liked how it looked and I was ready for it. This is gonna be fun. And then it was kind of boring. Not that the stories are the same, it's just the impression of look of the anime versus impression of the story that I'm gonna get. And this one, I don't know, like it just seems like it could be a good premise, but I'm just gonna be skeptical if it's gonna be good. Like the mystery of what's going on isn't intriguing to me right now. So I don't know, like let's just hope I'm wrong, but I'm gonna rate it a 6.
Wistoria Wand and Sword is an action-adventure fantasy anime. Will Sorford dreams of becoming a Magi Vander, one of the elite magicians of the Wizard Tower, to fulfill a childhood promise. However, he can't even cast the simplest spells and must fight dungeon masters to earn credit at Regarded Magical Academy. To make matters worse, he must also use his sword skills to fend off a bullying professor.
Wisteria Sword and Wand. Will is so cute. I just want to pinch his cheeks and protect him and make everyone stop being mean to him. The anime does give Mashal and Black Clover vibes, but Will is his own person. He is not Harry Potter, though it feels like he's Harry Potter, and his just hardworking personality and the adversity he has to go through because everyone just talks like smack about him. I am cheering for this guy so much, and for him to climb that tower to meet his childhood friend Alfie and just be together, and I just want the best for them. I want to protect him. That's how I feel like in the first episode. And the action, the animation was just great. Like I was ready, and this guy can zoom across the freaking cave. So the action scenes and the animation I really liked, and I just can't wait to keep watching this one. And I'm actually picking up the manga and reading it simultaneously with the anime because I want to see the anime first, but I also want to compare it to the manga and be able to read the manga once the anime ends at the end of the season. I am rating this one an 8.5. There is one that I'm going to mention, Narenare Cheer for you. And I didn't finish the first episode, and that's why I don't want to do a full review or first impression because I only watched like the first 5 minutes, 10 minutes, and the CGI was not it. And I was like, I'm not in the mood to start this one. So for now, I'm not gonna start it. And if someone tells me that is actually good, I will give it a chance, but I only watched the beginning and was already turned off. And that wraps up my first impressions for this summer 2024 anime season. First episode, first impressions, first thoughts, first ratings. Here are my ratings for all my first impressions. Excited to see where it takes me. Will it go up? Will it go down? Will I be spot on from the first episode? Are there animes that I should have picked up? Are there ones that you already dropped? Let me know in the comments below, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye. Meow.